Live. I'm sure you guys listen to me humming to myself, if not singing. It's always my biggest pleasure to do all of that for you. Don't forget to check me out at twitter.com/lore reloaded, where we talk about all the spiciest of things. If you have been on there, you have seen me complaining about how no one on planet Earth who is in the European Union can take a joke. In fact, so much so that I did a trolling video that I probably will not release, where I begged Mr. Tusk to stop lobotomizing its citizenry. So, with that out of the way, hope everybody is doing very, very well today. I am doing wonderful. Putting everything together, really excited. Got some cool stuff for the background and for going streaming live. And as always, I'm indecisive on what I want to do and where I want to go with it. So it's just a normal day to be me. We got Player for Serendipity. Hope you're doing well. We got Al Weifu, Jeff Franklin. Of course, the cat is now here. We got Will Lozone, Player for Serendipity, Birds of Prey 5. Always a pleasure, good sir. As well as the King of Lesser. The King of Lesser says, I do find it funny that the Dominion is allegedly the EU when your reasoning surely applies as much or more so to the US. Well, you know, I completely understand how, you know, the citizens within the Dominion didn't really think that the Dominion was all that bad. So, you know, whatever makes you feel better about yourself, good buddy. The Borg is the EU. Well, there you go. There you go. Bird of Prey 5, what do you win? You win the internet for the day. For the day. So, yeah. It's funny to me because which country is the Dominion? I did a stupid joke because in the broadest sense of the term, you see similarities between the Dominion and the European Union. They have their own centralized market that they can interact with each other. They have restrictions like Article 13 and all kinds of other things that they're required to do by being in the European Union. They utilize the euro, and they're restricted in some ways with interactions outside of the EU itself. It was just a joke. It's funny because I've made fun of the United States. I've made fun of Republicans. I've made fun of Democrats. I've made fun of religion. I've made fun of the U.S. military. I've done that all kinds of ways. And it is specifically the European Union that triggers a lot of people. I opted not to actually do that video in the end, simply because one of my friends who I let see it said it kind of reminded them of high school drama, which I could definitely see. He's mad at me right now. I gave him medicine. He did not like it. But yeah, Klingons are Irish stereotypes. Drinking, fighting, Ferengi. No, Godspeed. No, sir. We're not allowed to say that. We're civil. This is a Christian channel. We don't say stupid stuff like that. So yeah, but I mean, if you guys want to have the conversation, oh, Enerath, man, you should see the response video I did. You want to talk about catching hell? In that video, I actually said I wanted to play the anthem for the European Union. And so what I did is I actually found Hitler Gangnam Style, and I played that. Then I may have made a joke about how, what's his name? Macron sold out France to Germany. And that who was actually singing the Gangnam Style Hitler was actual Merkel. Yeah, I went full trigger. I tried to do the maximum amount of damage to someone's ego if they were so uptight about the European Union they couldn't take a joke. It was lovely. But I mean, you know, to that point, again, the European Union I think is more apt. I don't think it's the United States, but when you come to what was compared, like what happens within internal politics. But in theory, you could say the United States if you look at the states under the federal government. But again, when it comes to trade, restrictions on what they can do and their liberties, as well as interacting with outside sources, I think the European Union is a better thing. than the U.S. Now, that's not to say the evil aspects of the Dominion. We're just talking about how the internal politics itself worked, right? There were a lot of horrific people that had similarities that doesn't make them that. So, for instance, both Greece and, or at least Athens, and Rome had some form of republic and democracy. They were very, very bad people that did very bad things. Doesn't make the United States like the bad things that they did, or the European Union like the bad things they did. They just shared in a republic versus democracy type deal, if that makes any sense. Not offended that anyone thinks the EU is like the Dominion. If only the EU was that liberal. That's horrible. Is it possible to turn up the mic at work and the grinders block a lot out? Can you guys hear me okay? I can turn it up a little bit. I thought I was coming by. Let me turn it up just a little bit. Is that any better? I mean, I can speak up. I think I'm coming through okay. Let me know if you're still having issues. It's about maxed out there, but I can turn it up elsewhere. Common Crump says, no, not Common Crump, I'm sorry, Anthony Tellerico, helping out the channel. As you guys know, the best way to help me out, keep the lights on, keep me doing all this, make it so that I can live stream more and more, because I'm trying to do that for you guys, is either through super chats like Anthony Tellerico. You can also do paypal.me/Reloaded Studios, should be in the description, or tip and get to hear your own voice. Lots and lots of fun, let me just say. Anthony Tellerico, what's your view of CBS? CBS is probably one of the worst corporations on planet Earth. In fact, if there is other life forms, I will go ahead and say with no hesitation that CBS is the single worst created entity that has ever existed. Literally, you could not go to another planet and find something worse than that. For instance, I can't prove this, but I'm pretty sure that one of Hitler's dying requirements before he killed himself, and Germany was defeated, was to ensure the creation of CBS. Can't prove it. Just I think that's where we're at. You are coming through loud and clear for me. Good. 5x5 here. Good. U.S. is the old republic. Trump is Palpatine. Possibly. I'll tell you this. I know we don't want to get too political, and we really won't. But I will say that if Trump really did do to the Ukraine what they're saying, if he used his political power he used his power to try to get political gain, I really do think he should be impeached. And I don't care if Biden did it too, because Biden isn't in power. So Biden himself should also just won't be president. That's my opinion. Do you think CBS will get shut down? If so, would they get Shrek? Why would CBS get shut down? Is there something happening with CBS? If CBS got shut down, someone would just buy Trek. It'd either go to Viacom or Disney would probably buy it out. I mean, Trek, even if we accept what Nerdrotic, Doomcock, Mecha all say about Trek, it's still profitable and somebody would buy it, I think. Can I ask, what would you do to improve the Oberth class? Well, I'd give it actual weapons, would be the first thing that I would do. I would probably make sure that the shields actually work, put some armor on it, and maybe, just putting this out there, not send it up against Borg cubes. I don't know. I think these would be some increases. That's just my opinion. Why do you hate me? Why? That was not bugging you. There was no reason to do that. Don't jump. Don't do it. He's about to jump, I can tell. Disney Trek. I honestly think Disney Trek would be a lot better than CBS. A lot of people give Disney a hard time, but I'll be honest with you. When Disney bought out Marvel... Hi. When Disney bought out Marvel, they didn't... Nothing really changed all that negatively, in my opinion. I think Marvel did as well after being bought by Disney as it did beforehand. I don't really think there was massive changes to Star Wars either, I'll be honest. Any changes? No, sir. No, sir. Come on. Why? I think any changes that they did... I bet he broke that too. I bet any changes that they did would be would already be in that way. Hold on one second, guys. Where'd that thing go? All right. It didn't break. It's surprising. These things usually break. So I really think they were already on that way. So Marvel, Star Wars were already headed. Broke that time. Marvel and everything was already on that way. And so they didn't really impact it negatively. Isn't Orville now Disney track since Fox buyout? I don't really think it impacted Disney all that much. You know, I was I don't think Disney impacted Orville all that much. Orville has always been the way that it is. I don't really see a lot of changes there. Michael Weir helping out the channel. Michael Weir is a huge supporter of the channel. Really been there a lot for me. Really appreciate it. And hey, Lore, I want to draw your attention to Axanar and the speech made by Admiral Ramirez. Keep up the awesome work. Yeah, I've discussed that change before. I've discussed his speech about how he... And for those who haven't seen it, you should definitely go and watch Prelude to Axanar. Now, ignore everything in the background. Ignore Alec Peters. Ignore... all of the guff. Ignore Axamonitor. Just watch Prelude for what it is. And Prelude to Axanar, I think, is a wonderful short film, wonderful fan fiction of what Discovery should have been. In that speech, for those who haven't seen it, Ramirez basically says that he is he's not scared of a Klingon fleet. He's scared of what the Federation might become to defeat them. And I think it's just wonderfully done. Marinanor says, do we know what kind of metal Star Trek ships, particularly Starfleet ships, are made of? Duranium alloys. They're made of duranium. They're made of... they talk about a lot. Most of it's duranium, though. Come on, Laura. Why can't we? Why can't we? Because if they destroyed it, we could arrest the Borg cube because destroying a ship made of explodium is a war crime. We're talking about the Oberths? Well, yes, we could. Judge 1981 says Axanar was the trek I really wanted. The concept, Prelude to Axanar, was. We haven't ever seen Axanar. And I've seen some of the script, and I don't know how well it would have worked. It could have been interesting. I honestly, if they had actually went through with Axanar, I wish they would have done... I wish they would have... I wish they would have done it in the same way they did Prelude to Axanar. Yeah, they're now shooting... Michael Weir, no one will be happier than me to see Axanar come on the screen. And I will do so many breakdowns of it and discuss it. But Axanar itself is constantly being pushed back. It was actually supposed to be live. Not shooting, but completely done this year. Now it's going to be completely done next year. It is my sincere hope that we get to see it and that they go through with it. It is consistently pushed back. So, say what you will about Mr. Peters, but he made some awesome stuff with Prelude. I have not positively or negatively said anything about Mr. Peters, good sir. The Prelude to Axanar was really well done. I'd be interested to see what they do with Axanar. You know? What's going on, Ripley Riley? Ripley Riley was the guy I showed the video to. Really good friend of mine. Though we don't hang out anymore. See, that's what they don't tell you. When you're like teenagers and stuff, you can hang out all the time, or your 20s, and then you get you get a family and stuff, and you can't hang out. And both of us want to hang out, I assume, but we never get to. What's up with that? Seriously, it's shooting now. You can watch the shoot live that weekend. Okay, Michael. I mean, I can't wait to see it, is what I'm saying. That's what I'll say. Any plans to discuss or a breakdown of the old Star Trek games? Well, we could probably do that if you guys wanted to. Do you have any games specific? I've done some. I've actually done some lore on. Oh, what is it? It's the best Star Trek PC game that exists out there. Armada. What do you think of Renegades? I liked Renegades. It was decent. Um, I will, dude. I try to hug you all the time, and you don't like it. Uh, but it was pretty decent. I enjoyed it. Uh, ooh, dirty talk. You know what I? Okay, so as a teenager, I could be a jerk. That's just known. Like more so than now. And what I would do to Ripley Riley, I don't know why I did this. I was such an idiot. I got a I got a pamphlet that talked about oh, what is it? It talked about uh when you're like not leeching on them, but when you rely on someone emotionally, emotional reliance. I forget what it's called. And I would sit down and I would start reading parts of that to him. Like when you're upset, it impacts me. I don't know why I do stuff to friends. Star Trek 25th Anniversary Special. Tremendous game. I remember vaguely playing that. Hey, Laura, you should analyze Star Trek Legacy. A lot of people like that. Codependency. Yeah, I had this. I carried it around. I was so stupid. So I'd sit down right next to him and I would just read this codependency manual to him. It's fucking stupid, man. Natsock Germany was nothing like the victors taught us, and no, they didn't hate anyone for no reason. I don't know to what you're speaking, Andorian nationalist. Gaming related, and because I just played it, thoughts on Star Trek Voyager Elite Force. I liked Elite Force. It made a lot of sense. Like Elite Force was basically kind of like the Makos, and I could actually see uh, the security officer doing that, Tuvok doing that. There were some things that got a little bit silly, I think, but the first Elite Forces was really fun. I enjoyed it. I never really played the second one, though it looked like it would be a lot better. You even had you could do more things. But the original Elite Force, I liked where you got to do with that, and it put you in the role. And I liked that you got to be, I don't think you got to be your own character, but you weren't like a main character. So it felt like it was real, like something you were making versus being Tuvok. And then when the guy gives his life at the end, I think was interesting way to put it. What's up, Laura? Got me in the middle of my workday. Well, Michael Lindsay, I'm here for you. Just so you know, I actually am going to start doing more live streams. I've set up a mixer.com/Laura Reloaded. You guys should check it out. I also have twitter.tv. We'll get into that in a second. But yeah, I'm going to be doing this more so you guys can come hang out. I'll be doing them in the middle of the day from 11 to 1. I may change that up and do more time. I just need to find a way to do this and make videos for you guys, as well as 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, so that we hit both sides. Anyone know Klingon Academy? I did not play it, but watched it. It was awesome. Yeah, I played Klingon Academy. It was interesting. What's my opinion of the TOS D7? The original series D7 ships? They were good. Michael Weir, hey at work, gotta run, feed the cat, keep up the awesome work. I will feed the cat. Good to see you, Michael. I'll start being on at 8 p.m. CST too, so definitely check out then if that's better time for you, Michael. Star Trek Online is the best game. If you like your games being filled with bugs, lag, rubber banding, and gambling mechanics. I disagree, Steve. I like Star Trek Online. I don't think it has a ton of bugs. I've never really experienced lag badly. There has been rubber banding, but it's never been horrific. As for gambling mechanics, they all do it. It's the one thing I don't like about Star Trek Online is it is on an older system. I think they need to come out with an STO2. It's kind of unfortunate though because I'm pretty sure that talk to you later, Michael. I'm pretty sure that Star Trek Online, because of their closer relationship with CBS, this is how it feels. I could be wrong. Because of the closer relationship with CBS, it feels like Star Trek Online has cut off all ties. That's just my opinion. They don't really seem to really want to interact with me anymore, which is kind of intriguing because it only happened after they got closer to CBS. Godwin helping out the channel, giving $14.99. Thank you so much, good sir. It's always appreciative when you guys help out. Always a fun thing. You know how the mental picture of a person not matching that model feels? I guess that's what you're about to say to me. By the way, 73 people watching, only 24 likes. You guys want me to be here. You want me to do this. You always say, lore, more live streams. Live stream all the time. Dance, monkey, dance. The only way I can dance is if you hit those likes buttons. Hit the like buttons. Love the like buttons. Me and my friend started Star Trek Online on Xbox, and she said your character has the worst first day in Federation history. Yeah. Well, it's the beginning. Yeah, it would be the worst first day, or the best, being that you're given a filled command, and then they don't question it. It's like, all right, so we're taking you out, and your captain was killed, and you get to keep the ship. Star Trek Bridge Commander, I absolutely loved. I think it may have been the first or second ship. First or second game I ever played. And when it first came out, I thought you could actually give commands, like you could talk into a microphone. I don't know if you ever could do that, but that's what I thought it was. It was great. I love that game. I'm actually, when I start completely live streaming and playing games, that's going to be a game that I play. Will you dance if I hit the like button? I may just. You guys want to watch me making lasagna? I'll do it, by God. I'll do it. To be fair, I'm hot and cold on your channel. That's why I haven't given you a like yet. Well, what are you cold about? What do you not like about my channel? Maybe it'll trigger me and I'll insult you, and you'll never give it again. Lore, will you cover the continuity issue of SFD Macross and its movie when you do the lore breakdown? Yeah, I will. That should be coming out next week, I think. How's the game now? The unfortunate thing is, again, because of the way the engine they use and the way they made the engine, they can't really change it. They'd have to start from the ground up. And so I don't think there's a lot of bugs. I don't think there's too much rubber banding. But I do think that playing it a year ago and playing it today, or playing it 3 years ago, there's not a ton of difference, I don't think. Hello, finally caught a chat live. Well, welcome, Benny. I knew you'd be available today, so that's why I did it. Who said they weren't all in on Laura's channel? Oh, Anthony getting upset. 78 watching, 42 likes. What is up with that? Victor Nikolai, what game is what? What specifically was I talking? I have my Star Trek Borg CD. I still have that. I don't think I can get it to work. That's my problem. If I could get it to work, that would be absolutely nice. But it's old. I know Star Trek Armada 3 is a mod, but it's still awesome. I've played that. I enjoy it. Your opinion on women in Trek and your almost reverent position on it. What the hell are you talking about, Will Lozone? Your opinion on what is... I would love... All right, everybody. Will Lozone, who, as we all know, is a mind reader and knows exactly what I mean when I talk, will now tell us all. So everybody watch intently as we wait for Will Lozone to tell me what my opinion on women is and my reverent position on it. Now, he used the word reverent, so let's make sure that we know what it means. All right, so feeling or showing deep and solemn respect. So Will Lozone will now tell me, let's read exactly, my opinion on women in Trek, and then my reverent position on my opinion on women in Trek. Here we go, guys. Here we go. I'm looking forward to it. If I had some popcorn, I would eat it, but I don't. While we wait for Will Lozone to tell me my reverent position on my opinion on women for Trek, allow me to answer a couple other things, but we will instantly stop once Will Lozone has given us that. I have played Starfleet Academy. It was all right. I'm more into the TNG on, so games that are TOS aren't as fun for me, but it was all right. The little lady down the street is not in. I let the air out of the car tire. What? Okay. I would like to see a sequel in Star Trek Online with modern graphics. I would love to see a Star Trek Online 2. I think that would be cool. Kronos really doesn't care. Captain Sovereign, what did you do again? We're all waiting. I am interested on what my opinion is on women, and Will Lozone is about to tell us that. And I am excited. I am prepped. Both the mind and the body are ready and willing. I want it. I want Will Lozone to just splash his truth on what I think about women to me so that we can address it. Did I play Star Trek Armada? I love Star Trek Armada. Star Trek Armada 2 are the best Star Trek games. There are no other Star Trek games better than that. Any Bridge Commander Wesley Crusher edition should burn in hell, though. That is just fact. Star Trek Encounters. What was Star Trek Encounters? Was that a game? Star Trek Encounters. I don't remember. Oh, I never got to play that one. You know, someone did a, it was kind of cool. They played a game and, did the Dominion War through that game. And so however the game went, they would use clips from the Dominion War and played an entire Star Trek Encounters game, which was pretty cool. All right, everybody, here we go. Will Lozone is telling me my opinion on women in Trek and the reverent position I hold, which reverent means deep feeling, for that opinion on women in Trek. Here we go. All right, everybody, shh. Stop talking. Hold on, let me get my Will Lozone voice. Your entire video on Pike's position on bridge women. I sent some messages as to why a crippled woman would choose to stay on the planet where she is full-bodied and able. That tells, okay. What about that? What specifically? Are we talking about where I point out that it is inappropriate and sexist when you I really think, first off, it was more a joke than anything else, but it really could be considered sexist the way Pike operated on the bridge, or at least misogynistic. I think there can be a difference between the two, and why the woman was left down there. So first, let's look at that entire encounter, right? So Pike, really what I think when it comes to Pike was having despair and a lot of issues because he lost someone on the planet in his last mission. They died because of his actions, because of his choices. And there was a replacement for him who was a woman. Now, I think his real issue was he was trying to come to grips with the fact that he got some people killed. But he used her gender as the excuse for it. But let's look at the encounter itself. So, he's this human, which honestly is just the most beautiful redhead Star Trek will ever have. Gives him some orders or whatever, doing bridge work, and he seems off kilter and takes it, turns around. Number one looks at him and says, she's your replacement. And he says, well, I have never, he says, yeah, sorry, I just can't get used to women on the bridge. First off, that has some issues when you look at ships that came before the Enterprise, but whatever, we'll take that as it is. And then he looks up and he realizes that number one is a woman. And he's like, oh, no offense, I don't consider you a woman. Which gets her upset because he doesn't look at her as a woman. So there's issues with the way she reacts too. But you can see how that could be, let me use a word that'll trigger you, problematic, where he isn't used to women on the bridge, even though he's a captain of an institution that looks at everyone as equals, how that's not a problem. And then the only way he can put up with another woman on the bridge is not to look at her as a woman. Let's change the woman part of it. Let's say that he wasn't talking about her gender, but let's make it her race. What if she was African American? And he said the same thing to her. He says, oh, I'm just not used to African Americans on the bridge. Then, number one, who in this scenario would be African American, looks at him weirdly. He says, "Oh, I don't consider you an African American." If you can change it out and it seems much worse, then there's a problem with the initial piece. Now, let's talk about that last one, where she looks ugly and decrepit and wants to stay there so she can still see herself as beautiful. And Pike is like, "I understand and I agree with this." We are dealing with humans that are evolved humans that are better than any, at that point, I guess, 19th century human could be, 20th century human could be, or even 21st century human. They are beyond our understanding. They don't look at a person's color. They don't look what a person looks like. It is the character of the person that they analyze. If TNG is to be a part of it, they don't even fear death. Kids, when their parents die, don't even care. That's how evolved and advanced humanity is. And Pike is sitting there and saying, "You're ugly, so you probably shouldn't come back, and I understand." Now, I haven't looked at the comments because I'm sure you guys are going crazy, because everyone does when I talk about this. I haven't looked at the comments yet. Let me say this. When it happened, I'm not judging Pike necessarily, nor the characters or even the writing. I'm not saying that they should have known better. We're just talking about the incidents itself from our perspective, not necessarily a condemnation. I will now look at what I assume is 700 comments about how I'm horrible. Here we go. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. Here we go. Cannot wait. Well, but like I said, 51% I agree with. Already hit like, but again, your attitude towards the different opinions. And why a woman in the fleet are a bad idea. What if your XO gets knocked up or the captain? We can all leave our lizard babies on a remote planet. Okay, so. Captain Sovereign, stop overreacting. See, I love you guys. I love you guys. Let me say this. Let me address the universe of Trek. The universe of Trek, regardless of what we say in, quote unquote, the real world. So I don't really necessarily want to get into a debate, though later I may at some point, because I'm going to allow you guys to come on and talk to me about whatever you want. But even if we assume that you're absolutely right about how it works in the real world and women shouldn't be in the military. Not that I agree, but let's just assume that you're right. In the Trek universe, it works. We're told it works. We see that it works. It works in all of the different series, except for maybe the original series. So regardless of what we think in the real world, when it comes to that, it works. So if you use a real life example, it doesn't really matter to me because we're only looking at Trek universe. Also, women get pregnant and work on the ships all the time. We see it in I don't know if we ever saw it in the original series, but we did see it in The Next Generation, and we saw it in Voyager. Oystein A, helping out the channel. Thank you so much. Just came to the stream, Anyway, I blame America. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about how horrible America is and sexism. I don't know. I don't even know. Did the original series humans actually consider themselves more evolved like in TNG? They did. The original series actually talk about how they're above all of these different things. They talk about how they don't have anger, they don't have hatred or anything like that consistently. Taking aside the behavior, I see no problem in the decision of leaving her. If she wanted to say, yeah, I don't really see a problem there either. It was the reason why. And the reason why I have an issue with her wanting to stay, the reason why I have an issue with it is only because of what they present the universe as to us. The universe is supposed to be evolved humans being above us, being like the best that we can be. And a part of that was them specifically talking about how they were above pettiness, how it was, again, the content of the character. And so, when that episode says he understands her wanting to stay because she's ugly, I don't think that that's a good message. Now, maybe it's because she's disabled, and I think Will Lozone was saying that to a degree, because she wouldn't have lived as good a life there. I actually can see that, but I don't think they did a good job of telling that story, if that makes any sense. Have I ever played Star Trek Shattered Universe? I did. I didn't realize it was a like a starfighter, like a shuttle fighter thing, so I wasn't necessarily the hugest fan of it. So Yosef. Trek families always confuse me. What if your parents are two captains growing up? That must be odd for the kid. The ships must meet up for visits. I mean, it's in space, so where we go. Didn't see the stream link thing. Anyway, have to agree, they simply do not even try to think how it would have evolved. Okay. What are we talking about? Shattered Universe is all right. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I played it a little bit. I don't know. I never really got to the end story either. I think it was cool that they did Captain... what's his name? They didn't do Captain Kirk or anything. So they had a captain that wasn't there. The only problem I have with Pike and the girl is imagine them doing something in their crippled states and aliens watch. Yeah, it's... the more you look at it, the weirder it gets. But I mean... it's whatever. They do it knowing they're being watched, and it's for entertainment, you know? So, Will Lozone talking about the game. Shattered. It makes sense the Empire would have snub fighters. Yeah, it wasn't the snub fighter thing. I didn't mind that they had starfighters. I think Star Trek itself should have starfighters. I think that you should have wing command of a sort on the Enterprise or on different ships. That makes sense. It was just I just never really got into the game style. I did play Wing Commander. I played what was the Wing Commander? There was a Wing Commander game that I played, and it was Sulu. You're right. The Wing Commander game that I played. Talk to you later. Who's leaving? Jeff Franklin. Talk to you later, buddy. Thanks for coming by. What was the name of the Wing Commander game? You start out as this rookie pilot, and they have scenes that are real life scenes, and most of it happens in like the rec room, the recreational room. What was it? What was the start? It was a Wing Commander game. Maybe it was the 1990 version? I don't think so, though. Anyway, I absolutely love the hell out of that one game. I think it was really the only one I enjoyed. At the end, you have a mentor, and I think he ultimately dies, and he was the guy who played Luke Skywalker. Maybe it's Wing Commander 3. Maybe. Lex the Legend. Wait, Laura, I thought you were against fighters in Trek. With the way Trek is set up, starfighters make absolutely no sense to have. I think they would need to tweak the way the universe works for starfighters to work. To have phasers phasers and targeting technology are so advanced, even in the original series, that it makes no sense to have a starfighter. The only way you can really do battles is bigger ships. That said, they should, if they tweaked it to where starfighters could actually put up a fight, then it'd be really interesting. I think. Last time, to be clear, says Will Lozone, Pike also returned to the planet when he was crippled and could only answer yes or no questions. Sure. Okay. I think fighter shuttles don't make sense in Star Trek to good aiming system. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Leo. They don't. And maybe I was when it comes back to Wing Commander, I think maybe I was connecting two different games because I did play a couple of the games. But the one I played and I really loved was, again, you were a rookie, you were just starting out. A couple of the missions, you were fighting specifically the cats. I forget the name of the cats. And there was even one where this guy tries to talk you into betraying and turning off all your systems and killing the cats just to kill them. And you can either choose to do it or not to do it. So, I think Galaxy class retrofitted would be great training ships in the future on planetary ships. Sure. Starfighters with those photonic phase cannons. I mean, it's not the Kilrathi. Yeah, it's the Kilrathi with the cats. It's not about the amount of power strapped to the starfighter. It's about the amount of hits a starfighter can take. There is absolutely no there's absolutely no reason to have starfighters, especially since they can be taken out so easily. Star Trek Conquest. Have I played Star Trek Conquest? I don't know that I have played Star Trek Conquest. I don't think I have. No, that's I haven't played Star Trek Conquest. Star Trek Tactical Assault. Have I played Star Trek? I don't think I've played that either. Let's see. Tactical Assault. Click. That doesn't look familiar. I don't think I played that one either. Let me go back to Conquest real quick. If Conquest is like was it the chess game? Because I haven't played the chess game at all. No. I haven't. Sorry, guys. I failed you. I failed you. Why nobody in Star Trek Wars uses warp missile projectiles able to jump at warp when fired? In theory, all photon torpedoes and everything we see are warp capable because they're fired at warp. And then they hit at warp. So that's the only way they could actually be. Yeah, I got here in time for the live show. Like button gently petted to make it green, like Envy itself. You should. You definitely should. 57 likes and 71 watchers. Yeah, that's right. That is right. You either hit the like button or you're a Wesley Crusher. I mean, that's just fact. Well, it always depends on the size of the starfighter, since each universe has their own size, like how Star Wars has the small ties, while Warhammer 40K has 50-plus meter long fighters. That is a hell of a fight. When you think fighter, you think small. Once you start getting into, bigger than actual states or a car, I think it stops being a fighter at some point, in my gentle opinion, good sirs. What's going on, Charles Ryan Lee? Always a pleasure to see you here, sir. Glad you guys could come. By the way, don't forget to check me out, twitter.com/Lore Reloaded. Definitely go there. Twitch.tv/Lore Reloaded, Mixer.com/Lore Reloaded. Go to all these places. What's up, Bison Hawk? I don't know if I said hello to you or not. If you hit the dislike, you're Spot the Cat. But don't people like Spot the Cat? So why wouldn't they? So you guys want to talk about something. Oh my God. So I'm always trying to do stuff and make things better for you guys, right? I always want to enhance. But when I was looking at stuff, it originally seemed like Mixer.com would be the best option. And I still think it probably is. You can do a lot more in Mixer than you can Twitch. But Twitch has a higher user base that people can see. And most people know about it, right? That said, if if I do it here, you guys are already here. But then people hate the fact that I'm doing it here. Because if I want to do it here, I kind of want to play some games, not necessarily Star Trek related. And I do want to do some things that aren't like sci-fi to a degree. And people hate that. So I hate that I don't instantly know what to do. That always annoys me. Hey, Laura, would you make a video on non-canon Starfleet ships? If so, when or where would we submit them? I mean, is it like a ship you made, or are you talking about one that's in like beta canon? Well, that'd be beta canon too, but one like on memory beta or something. I don't know. If you want me to do a ship, send it to james@lorereloaded.com. I'll take a look at it. Don't make me go all Oberth on you. But in a normal fight, talking about starfighters, I'm assuming. But in a normal fight, a ship shouldn't be able to dodge a warp projectile. Why they don't use them? Operation Return would be very different. Yeah, so here's the thing. They actually talk about it in the Maquis, talk about having... there's two things. First off, in Voyager, they have the Cardassians made a warp-capable, smart... warp-capable, smart bomb that was a missile that could just devastate somebody. So first they made that. It also had phasers, and apparently Cardassian what was the name of it? What's the projectile that Starfleet makes? It's not a photon torpedo. It's not a transphasic torpedo either. It's a quantum torpedo. They also had Cardassian quantum torpedoes, which explained that one to me first off. They had all this technology that could just they could just warp missiles, and yet it's only specific episodes that we see that. The Maquis also said they took cloaking devices, strapped them in missiles, and sent them to Cardassia, that they couldn't be stopped. And that was in DS9. And then again, yeah, you have the Dreadnought in Voyager. But yeah. Can you put the link in? What link to what, Lex? What are you looking for specifically? Quantum, total crap. They didn't have, must have. Yeah, there's no way the Cardassian should have had quantum technology or quantum torpedoes. That made absolutely no sense. They couldn't have got it from the Dominion. A quantum torpedo specifically is designed by the Federation. And we only the Federation has quantum torpedoes, except in the one instance. The one singular instance that we see it on the Dreadnought. Oberth versus a TNG Galore. A Galore would put up a fight, but I think the Oberth would put up a fight, but I think the Galore would win. Michael Lindsay has to head out. Talk to you later, buddy. Thanks for coming. I put it in the link. Send it to james@lorereloaded.com. Quantum ain't nothing, boy. Wait till they get the unicorn torpedo. That's right. Well, Low Zone, what do you think of proton charges to reveal cloaked ships, like depth charges? They do something like that in TNG. So I don't hate that. I think it's a good workaround. They could also use like field nets and stuff. What's interesting though is that we know that to some degree, Starfleet has the ability to detect cloaked vessels, both in the Klingon border and the Romulan border. Because at different times, they'll either talk about not being able to get past the net that they have, or they'll receive information that the listening post has picked up X and X vessel coming through. So the problem, the reason cloak is an issue for the Federation is only in that once they get into the Federation space, or if a Federation vessel heads outside of that net. So in a battle, it becomes an issue, but actually getting into into space, they can actually be and are detected. Vessels, yeah. Are F-bombs more powerful than quantum torpedoes? F-bombs are always the most powerful. The most powerful F-bombs you can have is that. Cardassia does have spies in the Federation. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Season 1, Season 2 of Deep Space Nine tells us that the Cardassians are the ultimate bad guys. That you have to watch out for them. That you know you got to be on your guard because they're the ultimate bad guys. But Season 3 and on, they're really not all that big of a deal. In fact, they're more regional power. And in TNG, they seem as a regional power. All you have to do is scan for quantum singularities to detect Romulan ships, apparently. It's interesting how how you detect the technology, how it can change. I would agree that depending on the plot, it gets better or worse. What do you think of the theory Picard will die in Star Trek Picard and his new crew will name their ship after him, since all Star Trek shows are named after the ship? That sounds like that came from a channel. Which channel told you that, Christopher Decay? That sounds like something that was said as a quote-unquote theory. I don't even think CBS is that stupid. I'll say that. Arm the plot torpedoes and fire at the weakest part of the enemy's plot armor. That is exactly how it works. I think the Federation should have wolf packs patrolling the borders, and they definitely need a fleet around DS9 protecting the wormhole. I agree with that. I think probably in the middle of the Dominion War, they started doing that. You started having patrol ships, specifically Defiance would go there. Yeah, see, called it. Who called it? I knew a channel had to say that. I knew it. There was no way that wasn't from a YouTube channel. I knew it. No, I think Doomcock's wrong. I think he's absolutely wrong, and he is welcome on the channel to debate me on it if you'd like. I don't think they were never the ultimate bad guy. They were only powerful because, yeah, it was a regional power against a ruined planet in a station in the frontier. I mean, that's fair. I think you could look at it that way. I think that that's fair. And it makes a lot of sense that if you're at a ruined planet, and it wasn't even a Starfleet officer, it was Odo who was talking about it. So I could see maybe the Cardassians looking like a big deal to the to Bajor and anyone who worked at Bajor. So good call out. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitively see that. Also, my computer just dinged at me. Why did it just ding at me? Why? Oh. Okay, so hey, Lex, buddy, if you're gonna send me an email, do more than just hi. What specific ship do you want me to take a look at? Did Starfleet ever have missile battery starbases? During DS9, they talk about how the planetary defenses of Beta Z were out of date, haven't been kept up, and so we know that they did. We never see them, but we know they did. So have to go. Only thing, EU is clearly the Ferengi Alliance. That's why we sold our freedom to Google and Facebook this spring. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I stand corrected. EU is not the Dominion. They are the Ferengi Alliance. Truth. Talk to you later, Leo. I never listen to rumors about a show until they are confirmed. Well, they aren't rumors at that point. Honestly, I don't... When it comes to Trek, especially Discovery or the new stuff, I tend to not listen either to what's going on. I might watch it because it's a channel that I either support or I like the way that they present stuff, but I don't necessarily listen to what they say. I think on YouTube, you literally only have you either have the channels that really are basically big studio productions, and so this is just one thing they're talking about. It's basically like watching TV. Or you'll have channels that absolutely hate anything. I'm not going to say they hate anything Trek. Always negatively, will only see negative sides of everything Trek. I honestly don't think channels hate Trek. I think they actually like it a lot, but they can't see the positiveness in it. Or you have channels that are absolutely 100% love Trek, completely biased in the exact opposite direction. It's really almost impossible to find a channel that isn't being paid by a big corporate entity that is unbiased on YouTube when it comes specifically to the Trek these days. That's just my opinion. It is really lazy just to name it Picard. I don't know that it's lazy. I may agree it was a bad idea, but I don't think it was lazy. What alien races are you looking for in Star Trek Picard? Humans, I guess. I don't know. I really haven't thought of that. Be nice to see Trill. Be nice to see Betazoids. Lore Reloaded, what about the whole Mixer thing? By the way, chat, follow. Yeah, if you guys haven't, go to mixer.com/Lore Reloaded. Follow me there. Actually, follow me at twitch.tv/Lore Reloaded as well. Let me ask you guys. I would love your opinion. And I may actually do a full upload video to see what everyone thinks. I need to diversify. I want to. I can't just continue to do uploads standard and not do other things. First off, that kills my creativity. I want to expand. I always want to be doing better. The other thing is that I don't really want to put all my eggs into one basket. And so I want to start doing live streams like this. And I was looking around. Everything I can see when it comes to doing live streams, the really two options you want to go with is either twitch.tv or mixer.com. Twitch.tv has the monopoly on all of it, right? When Ninja went from Twitch to Mixer, he went from 60,000 people that watched him on the regular to 2,000 people that watched him on Mixer. Everybody knows Twitch. Everybody's heard of it. Twitch is fracking totalitarian when it comes to how they do it. You cannot say anything at any point that they disagree with, or you'll get banned, just randomly too. Mixer is a lot less of that. Mixer also has better interactivity because it's not like the Divide. Like if I went on there, even if I had 20 people watch me a night, no one's going to really notice me. But on Mixer, I think I could get enough where even the top ones would be able to interact, right? What's going on, Andre? Always a pleasure to see you. I also want to kind of do something where I can either play games and just hang out with you guys. We can have debates on whatever we want, whether it's Star Trek, Star Wars, and also with Mixer, it has like a 1 second delay, whereas on YouTube, there's like a 15-second delay for you guys. I don't know. I would be curious. I could do live streams here, but here's the thing about doing live streams here. When I come on here, all anyone ever wants to talk about is mainly Star Trek, definitely sci-fi. If I started playing games on here or anything like that, not only would no one, I know you guys would, but not a lot of people wouldn't come to the live stream, but it also would tank my numbers, which would hurt all my other videos, because that's the way YouTube works. Everything has to be great or everything other fails. I don't know. Interath, I didn't see. I never heard of Mixer till this morning, but I'd diversify from the monopolies. Sometimes I get delays over a few minutes. Yeah, delays can get bad. You're in the stage of educating your audience, so platform is your choice. You are in the stage of educating your audience, so platform is your... Oh, you're saying I can choose where I want to go. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But if you guys are interested, because I am going to start live streaming, I'm going to start doing it 2 to 4 hours a day. Sometimes I may even go 5 or 6 hours, depending. And it's going to be done. So definitely, if you haven't, check me out at mixer.com / Lore Reloaded. And follow me there. YouTube is the birth of the internet. I don't think anyone's going to kill YouTube. I don't know. You do Fallout lore? I mean, I've been considering doing Fallout lore. I actually, in the next... Tomorrow and Thursday is going to be non-Shrek. And then the week after, with the exception of probably Dominion War, is going to be all non-Shrek. I thought we were here to talk about Darkwing Duck. Well, DWOMT, we generally are. We generally are. So, yeah. So, definitely, guys, if you haven't, go here for me. I really think Twitch is going to kill itself, too. Faster. You know, people say this, though. Let me say this. A lot of people say that... YouTube is failing or whatever. YouTube has not failed for, you know, years upon years. When people tell me to go to like DLive or they say go to BitChute or whatever, it's like okay, imagine this. Literally, you have someone in New York Times Square. I think it's in New York, in Times Square. And they have a shop on Times Square, and they do really well for themselves, but they don't like it because sometimes the Times Square gets a bad rap, or sometimes Times Square screws them over and they lose money, and they complain about it. And so someone says, "Hey, I know you're not making Times Square. I know you're having these issues on Times Square. Why don't you go to Shelbyville, Tennessee, and start selling your wares there?" Don't know where Shelbyville, Tennessee is? No one else does either. I'm not even completely sure they realize how electricity works in that BFE town. I can't stand that place. So that literally is the comparison. Going from YouTube to BitChute would be like going from Times Square to BFE. It's just the way it is. I could always move to Paris, France specifically, and demand they surrender. That could work. And I'm not saying that YouTube can't be destroyed or wouldn't. I'm just saying that moving is not the best idea. I know what a Tennessee is. Well, good. I'm glad. That is my home state, good sir. I don't live in Shelbyville, Tennessee, so you're welcome to go there and try to find me. But it is a place that I visited once. German Trek has got to go. Guys, check out his channel and Continuum Trek. Really good channels to check out. Subscribe. Tell them Lord Reload said hi. Right now, the big tech companies are being investigated by the government for antitrust violations. As they should, Charles. Did Charles say that? Charles may not. Whoever said that, they should be, for sure. Yeah, Charles said it. BitChute doesn't have the capacity to handle the uploads. It's like Holly from Red Dwarf. Slow, but gets there eventually. Okay, I would agree. You can first upload your older videos to test some sites out. It's not, I'm sorry guys, it's not viable. It is, I get that people don't like YouTube or they think YouTube is failing or it's a horrible thing. It makes absolutely no sense. Before I became known on YouTube, I had a VidMe and a YouTube channel. And VidMe shut down without letting anybody really know about it until it was too late. No, I'm not doing that again. Maybe that's my failure, but that's part of why I'm wanting to diversify too, right? That's why I have a Mixer, and I'm starting to go on Mixer and do stuff there. By the way, 30 followers, 80 people watching me. Who hasn't went to mixer.com/Lore Reloaded and followed me there? Who hasn't? I'm looking at you right now. I don't care if you're working. Quit your job, go to your computer, do it. Laura can kick them out and take France for... That's what I should do. I'll be the daddy of all of France. That's right. They all call me dad. They'll just get confused though because I'm American and not German, and they're just so used to bowing down to Germany. So I mean, you know, is what it is. I don't know why people get so upset, man. I make fun of everybody. I like the U.S. I make less fun of the U.S. I'll grant that. And I consider myself a patriot, but I don't think it's the end all be all, and it has done things wrong. So I mean, I'll mock it. What else we going to talk about today, though? I was going to be on for 2 hours, but I don't know if I can keep you guys entertained for that long. So we have to get on a topic. I don't have a Twitch or Mixer. Well, Victor, you need to get a Mixer. That's just what it is. I got a video coming out today that I think you guys will enjoy as well, talking specifically about the court process and stuff. So here's one. Here's something that I find intriguing, or at least annoying. Picard, especially season 1 and season 2, is one of the most uppity individuals on planet Earth, I think. At least, again, for season 1 and season 2. I really, really, really got upset. Let me rephrase that, because I didn't really get upset. I got annoyed, mildly annoyed, at his interaction with him and between him and Q. When Q was talking about how horrific humanity was, and Picard basically refused to admit at all that there was anything wrong with humanity. It, honest to God, reminds me of fights that I see, and I even say this in the video, and I think I'm going to come to regret that. It reminds me of fights that I see between people who live in the South and people who live in the North. Specifically on the argument of racism. Q is right that humanity has been barbaric, and as we will see in DS9, has the capability to be barbaric, to be horrific. Picard is right in that humanity is not what it is and has completely changed. Both of them don't understand that and get into this outrageous argument. Like, Picard doesn't even accept what humanity has done. Why? I don't understand what's wrong with saying yes. Historically, there have been bad things that have been done, but things are a whole lot better than they used to be. What is wrong with admitting previous fault? Mstislav Portnov, Germans need to get their patriotism. I'd agree with that. I think Germans are beat down, and I don't think there is a lot of German pride, which is unfortunate. I think America had a lot to do with that, honestly, after World War II, and I disagree with. I don't think there's anything wrong with being patriotic, as long as it isn't at the expense of other people's. There's a difference between being patriotic and being stupid. But anyway, and let me try to bring it together a little bit and try to show you. And you guys tell me if you disagree. In the South, you have people who are so focused on their heritage who I honestly don't think they are racist or don't understand how they are racist, who will say the South is great. We have a lot of heritage. It's great down here. And, there's nothing wrong and everything is overblown. Well, that's not, I'm a Southerner. I can tell you that's a little overblown. That's not exactly true. And there are things that have occurred that is unique to the South that has made Southern states horrific in the past. I think it's a lot better, but I think there are some systemic things because of what happened in the South that are still there that may need to be addressed. And then you'll have a Northerner who just says all of the horrible things of racism only happens in the South. Look at all the things that happen in the South, and it is completely on the South that the United States has had an issue or has an issue with racism. When northern states were just as culpable, northern states still have an issue with it today. And they don't accept their part that they played. Like, both sides are so wanting to come at each other without accepting that, to a degree, they're both right. And Picard and Q are exactly in that instance. And it really not pisses me off. It just irritates me, because it also really seems like, again, just going back to that conversation or anything, it goes back to almost the cultural divide we have today. Like, the tribalism we have today is reflected in that. And I think that is what frustrates me, that no one understands that a middle ground is possible. I don't know. Good argument about humanity's progress is in Enterprise. Carbon Creek, T'Pol asks about us eating meat, and Trip says that we do not eat each other's anymore. We do not eat meat anymore? What? I'm confused. Bison Hawk says the way that was explained to me was that America focused on the evils of the Nazis to take the focus of Japan, take the focus off Japan. Reason being was that America needed an ally in the Pacific. I don't know. That would make sense. But I do know that the way the politics worked in America was to completely and utterly just destroy the Nazi regime and thus take Germany down. The propaganda put out by the United States was completely dissimilar to what was happening to Germany and what it was to be German versus the Japanese. And I think that plays a part. I think that really kind of melded generations to come, and why Germans aren't as open to being proud of being German. Oh no, there's just as Google Sweden eating people. I'm not mad. I have never heard that. You know, again, I don't necessarily want to get too far into it. It's just, again, it's frustrating to me. I mean, because I live in the South, that's when it comes to arguments, it's a lot of what I see between people. But really, it can be applied to anything. Again, you just look at Trump, or you look at Brexit, just anything. Nobody is willing to admit either, yes, there are bad parts of it, and that it's not squeaky clean, or just the people are just evil. Mixer account made, followed. Cretinous Martyr, you, sir, are a hero. Gold 818. Gold 818, I will tell you this. Let me address that. From an examination, when is the next live stream? Next live stream will be tomorrow at 11, if not tonight at 8. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. CST, if not tonight at 8 p.m. CST. Nazi ideology is one of the only things that both the left and right hate in America. The funny thing is about that, there are certain extremes of the Nazis that people agree they don't like or they hate. But being a Nazi has been so watered down that it makes no sense. It just isn't at any point logical. Bison Hawk is a hero for making a Mixer account. It's just, I think the cat, I'll donate $2. I'm not gonna force my cat to do anything he doesn't want to do. What am I trying to say? Trump is the president of the United States, And it seems like there has been a positive impact when it comes to him standing up against the PC culture that tells us that we can't talk, that speech is a bad thing. For me saying that, I've literally been called a Nazi. Being a Nazi is so watered down, it is so misused, that I, honest to God, could see a movement calling themselves Nazis and it becoming popular to attack that stupidity. I would agree that the left and right hate Nazis, the extreme elements of it, but I don't think anyone knows what being a Nazi is anymore. Am I pro or anti? Yeah, a lot of people, that was so frustrating, let me say, about the it was so frustrating about the video I did because what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of people were like, oh, so you must be for Brexit or whatever, when I just made a stupid joke, When it comes to Brexit, I honestly don't know enough. I'm not as educated on the topic to know what the best option for them to be. I don't like some of the things I see. WTF, I clicked on this expecting to hear about Star Trek, ducking clickbait. Talk to you later, Revan. I'll tell you what, Revan, let me take care of this for you, buddy. Good deal. Never have to deal with the channel again. Talk to you later. I don't know enough about Brexit to know the positives or negatives. I can say the way the Remainers are acting makes me believe that those who want to stay in Brexit are totalitarian and wanting to stifle. So that would be my take on it. Persona Slates. Okay, then. Have fun talking about politics and Trump. Good day. Talk to you later, Persona Slates. Thanks for coming by. And that's where I would go on it, honestly. I don't know. I'd love your thoughts. By the way, guys, yeah, this chat is whatever you guys want to talk about. So if you don't like it, don't enjoy it, or don't want to be a part of it, then leave. In fact, if it upsets you so much, you can also unsubscribe. I can walk you through that process if you're confused. Just let me know, and I'd be happy to assist you in that if you needed help with it. Britain is in a tough spot. They have no control, forced oppression of sorts. Yeah, I just don't know about that. Now, to be fair to the people who are talking about leaving or whatever, yeah, I can, again, that's one of the reasons why I want to open up a different thing like Mixer or something, because if someone comes here, apparently I have to dance and talk about Star Trek, and that's all you guys ever want, because that's what this channel is. And if I do anything else, you're not going to be happy, and you're going to bitch like that. So that's one of the reasons why I want to look at other options too. But again, if you want to go back to talking about science fiction or Star Trek, we can definitely do that. You guys just have to start talking about it. Yeah, Goodbye Lore Reloaded, canceled, offered an in-depth analysis of the fantasy totalitarian system. Instead, it's a half-baked fringe right ramblings you expect out of an old... What? I'm canceled. All right, talk to you later, Space Claw. Love you, buddy. Fringe right, though. How is it fringe right? See, that's what I want to talk about. Let's talk about fringe right. How am I fringe right? God bless this chat. Star Wars is dead. I don't think Star Wars is dead. I just think they're getting a new audience. I think like Star Trek. I don't think they'll be moving in other directions, honestly. Ever seen the movie Fanboys? No, I've never heard of it either. Honestly, love you too. Talk to you later, Space Claw. Not see, Space Cloud now has me confused. Does he like me or hate me? Am I now canceled? I'm confused. I don't. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Daring to have a political opinion is a bad thing. Bro, you've never come across as anything but a lore channel to me? Well, I want to stay a lore channel to you, Bison. What is Fanboys? I guess I'm going to have to watch it now. I got called alt-right when I disagreed with the Doctor Who and it's gender swapping. Yeah, that's just silly. See, that's the funny thing, Charles. I don't whole stock buy anything. That's what confuses people. My opinions are, I try to keep my opinions nuanced, and they aren't lock, stock, and barrel. I'm a decently hardcore capitalist, but I'm okay to having my mind changed on capitalism. When I look at Trump, I now think there are far more negatives than there are positives about him, but there are a few positives there. I do believe that you should utilize. Now, I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% capitalist. I do believe that you should use capitalism to have some social programs, but I'm pretty just open about it, you know? I'm pretty nuanced. It depends on the topic. Have you ever reviewed Black Mirror? Yeah, I did I haven't done an upload. I did do some live streams when Black Mirror came out. What's better, Star Wars or Trek? If you're getting on, get up here. I mean, they're so different. It's hard to say which one is better. When it comes between Star Trek and Star Wars. When it comes to Trek, I think it's more science fiction. Star Wars is science fantasy. So, do you think the average citizen of Coruscant cared about being turned into an empire since they were a capitalist society? I think what the Emperor did was basically similar to the Dominion, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Is that he basically just wanted to remove the Jedi and control everything. And honestly, when you look at what is canon and you look in the movies, the Emperor took a universe that was at war, stopped the war, and made it a lot better for most of the population. Now, when you look at the Outer Core specifically, they didn't really gain much from it, but they were getting screwed over already. The Outer Core went to war with the Inner Core because the Republic really had just stopped listening to him, the Old Republic. And so when the Emperor took over, he basically just took it back to where it was, and a lot of the citizenry did fairly well, which is why... Oh, thank you for giving $2 for the cat. So, you know, that's why it's hard. That's why the rebellion didn't have large sway support, because under the Emperor, it was really not a huge, horrible thing. You just didn't have freedom of thought. It was a lot like the Dominion, honestly. Can we talk about Disney's new free character bedtime phone service? I have not heard. Disney new character. No, buddy. Here, come on. Get up. Come on. There you go. Disney new character bedtime story. Free Disney bedtime hotline is back to lull your kids to sleep. If your kids have trouble falling asleep at night, some of Disney's most recommended company is This Is Stupid. Toll free to hear pre-recorded bedtime messages. Okay. I've not heard about that. That's interesting. Would love to stick around, but I gotta go. Talk to you later, Bison Hawk. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. What people miss about the prequel trilogy was that it showed how Palpatine manipulated things to take over. He's the one who created the conflict. He did. He put it all together. So I would agree with that. But yeah, I don't got a lot to say. I'd agree with that. Where are the civilian authorities in Trek? It seems like Starfleet handles everything, which is a little concerning, seeing as they are effectively a military power. So one of the reasons why we don't see a ton of you can go down there though. One of the reasons we don't see the civilian authorities is because first we're staying with Starfleet and starships, and second, when it's on Earth, that's the capital where Starfleet is placed. In theory, based on deduction and some dialogue, there may be militias, like small militias or small planetary defenses, that exist and that are allowed. Like we see Vulcan, we see them have ships there that are for defensive natures. But I think we just don't see it more than anything else. I love your channel. Can you make a separate Star Wars channel? John Burt's, no, I can't, but I can start doing more Star Wars stuff if you'd like me to. I'm not going to make a separate channel per se, but I can start focusing more on Star Wars. What I want to know is if the Borg can assimilate changelings. This comes up all the time. I honestly think they can. We don't have any evidence, but we do know that the founders have enough information, not enough information, but their bodies or their systems are made up so that they can be infected. So if they can do that, then in theory, they should be able to also be assimilated, because you can infect them with a sickness like Section 31 does, you know? The Federation is definitely America. Okay. The Disney sequel trilogy didn't give us context for the conflict. In order to sell the audience the idea of the conflict, you need to give the audience more info. Okay. Make the Battle of Sluis Von from Legends Thrawn trilogy. Well, you should do that. I agree. Star Trek versus Dragon Ball Z. I mean, I think Dragon Ball Z would win. They can breathe in space. They have the moon they can live on. They have Super Saiyans. Given Trek has been commentary on the times, it's fair you talk about this. Gene's desire was to have a conversation on these subjects after all. Broken Eyes. Are you referring to talking about politics and stuff? You know, people just don't want to hear that, though. What's fair and what's not is, first, thanks for the support, but is relative, you know? People just don't, for whatever reason, want to hear it. Do you think the Breen should play a big role in the post-Dominion War scenario, especially after the Romulus' destruction? It'd be interesting. I don't know that they're going to do it, though. I do think they want to move away from Nostalgia Trek. I think they're going to keep a couple of things there, like the Romulans, Starfleet Federation. I don't know if they're going to be... I don't know if they're going to be bringing in the side characters as much then, you know? Red Dwarf. I could do Red Dwarf. I actually watch Red Dwarf. I think it's funny. So I could. What do you think about Amazon's show The Expanse? I enjoy The Expanse. I have done several different videos on The Expanse. I've broken it down. I'd like to get back into it, and I may. The Kamehameha is a quantum torpedo. I think it's stronger than a quantum torpedo, in my opinion. I bet you're surprised I can say it. I've seen that show, good sir. Watch it when it's a kid. Let's create a sci-fi about an evolving colony of people living in Lore's beard. Look, if you got something to say and you want to say it to my face, then just say it. Say it to my face. Yo. Dragon Ball has more really broken lore, worse than Star Trek any day. Yeah, but does it have as much broken lore as what we see in Doctor Who? Because Doctor Who goes out of its way to break lore because it believes that it can. And that really, therein lies the real question I should ask you. Oh, where is it? I had something pulled up. Guess we're not. You know what we could do? We could do Steven Universe lore. There you go. That's something that'll get people to unsubscribe. Like, full stop unsubscribe. How about old Brit shows like Space 1999? Space 1999 that's the one where they eat dirt and stuff, right? Like sugar dirt or something like that. I like that one. If that's what I'm thinking of. Space 1999. That's the one that got canceled on a... No, that's not the one I'm thinking of. There was a show... It's not Space 1999. What is that show? So there was a show... Love your humor, Lore. That's why I stay unsubscribed. Well, good. Good, buddy. There is a show that got canceled halfway through that they had, I think it's called Sugar Dirt or something like that. And they also had these suits that once you use the Space Above and Beyond, that's what I was thinking about. I'd love to do Space Above and Beyond. I haven't watched all of it, and I'm told that it ends on a cliffhanger, so I probably don't want to because that really annoys me. But yeah. Federation is the British Empire. Okay. Time Lords show up at Renaissance Festival and also manage to pull a few Jedi through somehow. I could see it. I could dig it, good people. Why don't y'all want to watch some Steven Universe? A surefire way to almost get everyone to unsub. Don't restock the gelato. That is true. That is true. How about Stargate? I've done some Stargate. I want to get back into that. I don't know about Sugar Dirt. Space 1999 is just based on a moon. Yeah. You know a show that I loved when I was a kid? The show I was talking about before was Space Above and Beyond. But how big a part of Picard do you think Borg will play? We know Romulans are experimenting on the former. I think the Borg are going to be critical to what's going on. I think it's going to have the chick who can control the Borg in some way. What happened to Makos from the Enterprise? They became Starfleet security. No one is out of gelato. That just doesn't happen. I've done videos on Orville too. I'll probably do more on Orville as well. Personally. What's going on, Slapper? Hope you're okay. Federation equals American. So maybe. Japan has vending machines that give... What? I can't remember now. Have you covered Firefly? Yes, I've done some Firefly. I should do more Firefly. Space Precinct. Yeah, you guys have talked about that. I don't think I've ever even seen Space Precinct. What is it? Space Precinct. That looks vaguely familiar. That was an older show, though. That looks vaguely familiar. All right, so you guys want me to show you the video that I'm not going to release? The video that was too spicy that even I wouldn't release it? I'll show you guys that. We'll probably be ending this up pretty quickly. Thank you so much for the super chat. Did I miss a super chat then? Is that what, oh, here it is. Gold super chat. Thank you for the support. Can you do an analysis on the political structure and the expanse and the socio-political philosophy of the UN, Mars, and the Belt? I think that'd be interesting. I've considered it. That would be a bigger show. but or a bigger video. But I've considered it. And straight up fight with the Empire versus the Binion. Who do you think would win? Who's the Binion? Do you mean the Dominion? Probably the Dominion. I think the Dominion have transporters. I think they'd win. Yeah, I saw that. The bathwater. I was thinking about selling lore bathwaters, doing that. I think I could make a lot of money off that. Don't you guys? Think I could just make like a ton of money. All right, here we go. Videos. All right, hold on, guys. Goyam. Oy vey. All right. Cat. All right, you guys ready? Ready for the spice? This is my sincere apology to EU citizens. The video even I won't release because I think it's too spicy. So I wanted to do a quick upload in a video. Hey guys, so I wanted to do a quick upload in a video to say that, be honest, I'm sorry. When I did the last video, I didn't realize how many people from the European Union would have an issue with the video I uploaded. When I did it, I just thought I would do a joke, and I thought it was quite clear. I mean, I've made fun of religion, and people in the European Union didn't like it. I didn't mind. I made fun of the U.S. military, and the European Union didn't care. I made fun of America, Democrats, Republicans, democracy, capitalism, and you see, and they didn't care about that. But when I did a joke that attacks the European Union, you know, like I've done with other things, it really hit a nerve, and a lot of people got upset. Well, more than normal, not a lot of people. A vocal minority got upset. And I just wanted to apologize because I know how awesome the European Union is. I mean, if you look at the financial place that Greece is in, I think you can clearly see how well the European Union takes care of its own people. If you look at how there is no elitism, when you look at how the United Kingdom, what advantages they have until they leave, or Germany or France, how they're just all equal with all of the other partners in the European Union. They definitely don't have more of a say or get special dispensations or anything like that. But, you know, I just didn't realize that when you became a European Union, David Tusk literally has you lobotomized and you lose your sense of humor. And I want to help out. So what I did is I've done a change.org. It's linked below, and it will go to David Tusk when we get, I think, 500 signatures to ask him to stop lobotomizing European Union citizens so that they can have a sense of humor. And along with that, just as a show of my sincere apology and how I know I should never joke about stuff like that again, I wanted to go ahead and play just a little bit of the European Union anthem. So just hold on a real quick second, and we'll get this started, okay? So just give me a second. Here we go. All right, and there we are. This is me saying I'm sorry. So anyway, fun fact, that was actually Merkel. She did a live show when Macron from France sold out his country to Germany. Anyway, I apologize again, guys, and please sign the petition. Yep. Yep. That happened. Too spicy for my channel. It is even weirder when you actually understand it. Yep. Anyway. Yeah, if people get really upset by what I say, I can really take it to the next step. Not Ryan Johnson says donating here instead of anti-tracker stream. Well, that's mean. That's rude, sir. See, now I'm gonna have to give that to the anti-tracker, and I am too. I'm gonna give it to him because you need to donate everywhere. That was great. I don't see why you wouldn't want to post that video. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine if you understood what he was saying. I assume that they used just German word. What Hitler was saying, they used words that went with the song. So he's probably complete gibberish. Is if you can speak German. Sorry I'm late, Laura. The EU needs to loosen up. I would agree with that. Peter Haig, what's going on? Raise your fist. Just Laura, life is short, man. We have to laugh at ourselves and everyone. Oh, is the anti-tracker here? Where's the anti-tracker? Or did he send like a raid? I guess that's what's happening. Is he on right now? Let's check. Let's check together, people. Let's do it. Do it live. Let's see. Oh, he went live. Okay. Well, let's counter do that. Let's counter it and do this, guys. Let's counter raid him. Go here and tell the anti-tracker hi, and we'll do a counter raid. Because he can't be the only one to do it. Unless my channel just got shut down, which is possible. Because now everything's frozen. Go here and do a counter raid. I actually did also start a change.org that asks Tusk to stop lobotomizing people. But yeah, go there and counter raid him. When was the last war in the EU? For clarity, I mean a war between a country within it. Yeah, that was part of my point. Was that the Dominion, in the Dominion there's no wars. They're not allowed to have wars. And also in the EU they don't have wars. It's a similarity. It doesn't make them both the same, people. All right, I think we are getting near the end, guys. I am going to start doing these for 2 hours. Don't forget, please, just for me, if you love what I do, do the Mixer thing. Go to mixer.com/Lore Reloaded and set up a Mixer account. I know it's annoying, but please do it. And follow me there because I'm going to be doing like 2 to 4 hours, if not more, a day there. I'm doing it right here for now, but I'm going to slowly start moving over there. Can you please read my last donation, Gold? I didn't see it. Can you please read my last donation? Yes. Sorry, I'm late. Laura, what donation did I miss? Because I don't like doing that. Let me see. YouTube.com/super chat. Gold 818. Can you please read my last donation? Can you please do an analysis of the political structure in the Expanse and the socio-political philosophy of the UN, Mars, and the Belt? I don't know if you heard me before, but I specifically actually talked about that. I said that I was interested in doing that. I have done videos on the Expanse. I think that'd be a much longer video, though. So if you didn't hear me, I apologize for that. What's going on, Sideshow? If you didn't hear me, I apologize for that. But I actually already talked about that, that I would be willing to. Charles Ryan Lee, no, he could pull a Carlos Maza. Who would do another... Oh, you're talking about my... No, my video wouldn't do that. It would not be another Carlos Maza, I don't think at all. Can we give you fan art and such things? If you want to, Victor, I'd love it. I'd showcase it. Well, if I liked it, I would definitely give you a little something if I could, and I'd showcase it. I'd be honored if you wanted to do it. But send it to james@lorereloaded.com. Or hit me up at twitter.com/lorereloaded. I've had some done already, but I would absolutely love that. I'm also getting a P.O. box very, very shortly that I will have people send to. A lot of people want to do the P.O. box thing. So since people want to do it, I'm going to start doing it. I was on the fence on it, but I don't know. All right, so here's what I want you guys to do. Here's what I'd like you guys to do. So now, definitely the Mixer thing, because if you guys want me live streaming, you want to see me live streaming, that's where you guys are going to have to catch me ultimately, because I'm going to start doing it over there so that I don't have people come on like I did saying, oh my God, I can't stand that you're not talking about Star Trek. I'm unsubscribing. And I want to diversify. The other thing is everybody that's watching this now, this is the last thing we're going to do, and we'll do it live. I'm trying to think what's going to be the best way to do this. Okay. I want you to go to this channel. Talk to you later, Timmy. Thanks for coming by, buddy. I want you to go to this channel and raid him. And I want to see how he reacts when everyone asks him, when did he stop loving Michael Burnham more than Kirk? And everybody should do it, and we should spam his stream. So go there, do it right now, and just spam him. Do it because it's right, not because I asked you to do it, because it's what God would want you to do it. That's what we have to do. And then we're going to end, and it'll be ended on a good note. And I may come back tonight at 8 p.m. CST, though that depends on if I can get this other video done. Is lore wrong written in the email? It's james@lorereloaded.com. That's it right there. james@lorereloaded.com. What of spinning... What? Furthermore, Carthage must be destroyed, razed to the ground. Yes. Oh yeah, I'm going to be promoting it a lot. When my mixer is up, I'll be doing that a lot too. But you guys need to start. Why aren't we asking? Yeah, see, Continuum Trek has done it. Why is there no one else doing it? Other people. There we go. Peter Haig, 86. We should share this. This is something that should be shared. Hold on. Here we go. I'm going to share it. There we go. And see, y'all should just do it. Were you making... See? When did you stop liking it? Let's do 2 more. Get me 2 more and we'll be done. That's all we got to do. Just 2 more people. You can do it. Do it! I hate delays. There's probably a delay on his too. Yeah, I bet you came on here for Star Trek and now you get this stuff. So there's all that, right? You gotta love that. There's one. One more. Just one more. It's going to make him mad. Y'all can do it. I'm counting on you. Now I have to do it. When did you stop loving Michael Burnham more than Kirk? All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to see you on the next Lore Reloaded.